Who's using Snapchat in 2025? A messaging platform where all you do is send each other pictures and message. How useless is this app? That's probably what someone over the age of 30 would say. Hold on, run it back. First of all, what is Snapchat, right? I want to think about that first. All it is an app where you can text people and send pictures. The big thing is the pictures bit. Like, their main focus is the pictures. The first thing you see when you open the app is the camera. And that's what makes it more versatile than other social media platforms that have a picture feature built in, such as like Instagram, where you can send pictures to each other, but only in the DMs, so you can't send it in bulk or whatever. Personally, I just hate having to send my friend a photo by taking a picture of it on my phone and going to the Messages app and sending it to him there, or going to the Messages app and having to take a photo, because it saves on my phone. It saves the photo to my Photos app, which isn't what I want, because A, that takes up storage, and B, when you send it on the Messages, it's also adding storage to the Messages app. Alright, so I've just checked it just to make sure, and what I said is right. It takes up storage on your phone and on the Messages app, because when you send a photo, it doesn't link to your photo, which is on your Photos app. It makes a copy of it on the Messages app so that the person you've sent it to can see that copy, it makes sense. It's alright. I know I'm complaining about sending a couple photos, which people might think, oh, it's just a few photos, it'll take up like what, a couple megabytes? Basically nothing. That's not the problem. The problem is videos, because if I'm trying to show my friend something, my option is go to them in person, because I'm not sending over a gigabyte file just for you to not see it, because then I have to delete the video and delete it again on the Messages app. And also, when you send a video on Messages, either it just doesn't send if it's too big, or it takes forever, and it can fail sometimes if you leave the Messages app and you go do something else and you realize 20 minutes later, oh, it didn't even send. Sorry, bro, I'll send it again. With Snapchat, if I send a video, I know it's gonna send as long as if I have cell service. So as long as if I have data, I know for a fact it is gonna send, because it's gonna buffer if I don't have any service. But as soon as I get to a place that has Wi-Fi, it will send, and I'm sure of it. Plus, it doesn't take up that much storage on my phone, because once it's sent and once they've seen it, it's gone. I do think that if you use Snapchat for specific reasons, you shouldn't be using Snapchat, you should just grow up. But if you're only using Snapchat to send videos and photos to your friends because you want to show them something, that's totally fine, absolutely fine. I think that's totally justified, and if people are hating on you for using Snapchat, you should slap them in the face. But if you're a Snapchat warrior, you need to stop, go outside and tell your mum that you love her. Like, if you're using Snapchat to collect people like Pokemon, that's crazy. I snap maybe 10 people. I have a few friends, I have a lot of friends, but I only snap, or do streaks with like 10 people, maybe less, probably 6. And the only reason why I do streaks is because the number is so big now that I've just become attached to the big numbers. I'll be honest, I completely forgot what I was talking about, because I was just scrubbing through the video, and I hate the way that I say words that end in ER, like better. I need to start saying better, not better. But when I add that ER, it sounds so... I can imagine what my mouth looks like, the shape of it when I say it, and that just pisses me off. I was just going through it because I forgot what I was talking about. It's so annoying. I hate the way I sound, and the fact that you have come this far into the video and you haven't reported my channel is insane. I want to come back to the Snapchat warriors. If you're using Snapchat for the sole purpose of collecting people like Pokemon, that's crazy. I know I've just said those exact same words like a few seconds ago, but I had to get my mind in the mindset. I only know a few people that are Snapchat warriors. I see people celebrating other people's birthday that they haven't even met. Every day that I look on my Snapchat story, I just see happy birthday. First of all, people that don't even say happy birthday piss me off. The fact that you're saying haps or HB or more life, first of all, kill yourself. Just stick with the original happy birthday. Why are you trying to be not even extra? You're being minimum. Stop being minimum. okay? Show your friends some love and say to them, happy birthday. You telling me you can't put in the couple syllables to say happy birthday? Kill yourself. And what they do is they just say happy birthday or whatever slang that they're saying to this random stranger that they don't even know, or like they've known for maybe like a few days. What? Every day I look at my story, it is the same guy saying more life to the next woman, the next woman, and the next woman. Basically every day. I don't get how you have this many different girls with different birthdays, and the fact they have to shout them all out every single time. That is absolutely insane to me. What? I know for a fact that this guy doesn't know any of his friend's birthday. He relies on Snapchat, which I think is a really bad thing. If you don't know at least 3 of your friends' birthdays off the top of your head, you're a bad friend. And if you're relying on an app, extra bad friend. If you have it saved on your calendar, then I think that's okay. You know, like I have some of my friends' birthdays on my calendar, but I know most of them. Fritz, Stephen, Kieran, Jins, Jithin, Gavin, Harry, not Matthew. I'm having difficulty thinking of friends that I have. I don't have that many friends. Please be my friend. But yeah, just get used to memorizing your friends' birthdays. It's not that hard. Also, I've completely gone off the topic of my thoughts on Snapchat. I think next time I might want to come up with a script, get all my thoughts down on paper or on text, so that I have more things to talk about. I have now ran out of ideas. I've got nothing. And this video is going to be like, what, 3 minutes long? I'm just trying to get some more content from things about Snapchat, and I've just seen something and it's got me thinking. This is a Quora quote from someone. People use it to invoke envy in others, in other people, and it makes people feel bad about themselves. That is completely true. It's a story feature, right? Obviously there are stories on Instagram, but I feel like there's different levels of priority when you're posting a story. For me, when I post an Instagram story, that is completely separate to a Snapchat story, because an Instagram story is public. Well, I have a public account and they can all see everything on my profile. So when I post a story, I have to know that it's something that I actually want everybody to see. But a Snapchat story, obviously I can have like my public story, but I can also have private stories, which is what I usually do. I post everything to my private story, so it's only a small group of friends. But there are people that post literally anything on their public story, and I'm like, wait, hold on, are you trying to get other people jealous or like ask you questions? It's always my brother. He always posts every time we go to school, but it's past closing time or like after 3 p.m. because sometimes we have events at our school. So when he's there, he takes a picture of the outside of the building, or like he tilts his phone to make it look cooler, and then he adds the location and sends it to his story so that his friends can see it and be like, wait, bro, you're at school? What's that about? How come you're at school? What? That's crazy. Dude, what? I literally saw him do it the other day, and I asked him, or I told him, or I mocked him. Oh, look at me, I'm taking a picture of the school after hours to post on my story to be cool in front of my friends. And he acted like he wasn't taking the photo for his story, even though I knew for a fact that he was. And I'm having difficulty thinking of what people should be posting on their stories rather than what they're currently doing, which is fine. If you're taking a photo of where you are, so say if you're on holiday, you take a photo of like the food or the nice scenery, that's perfectly fine, because you're on holiday, you've spent all this money to go on holiday and you're having a nice time. You want to have a nice collection of photos for when you come back, and you can, you know, reminisce over the times when you went on holiday a couple years in advance or a couple years later, and be like, oh, I wish I was on holiday now, I've just seen these photos. But there's also things that you probably shouldn't be posting for the sake of either you're being so cringe, like posting all of your money. If you have a bunch of £10 notes out, lied on your bed, I'm gonna call you cringe. Not because I can't afford your lifestyle, because I actually can't. That's way too much money. Give me at least a £5. But I feel like everybody has seen at least one person post a bunch of money on their story trying to flex on how much money they have. When I look at it, I think of, okay, you're trying to flex. Nice try. It's cringe. Because the sole intention of that post is to get other people jealous of how much money they have, which probably isn't even true. It's probably their parents' money that they've got and they spread it on their bed and they've taken a photo and they've had to give it back. That's lame. And I'm just thinking about Snap scores. Oh my goodness, back in the day when Snap scores used to be a real thing, I remember people had hundreds of thousands of Snap scores, and I was like, wait, that's so cool. I want my Snap score to be so big. So what I would do is I would select a group of friends, be like 10 people, and I would spam them snaps constantly for like 10 minutes just to increase my snap score by a bit. And I would do this every now and again. And I cannot believe that I've done that when I was like 14 years old. My dumb ass is doing that bullshit at 14 years old, 15 years old. If I was him, I wouldn't do it again. I want to keep my snap score low. Right now, it's on 162,000. That's way too high. So it says here that I've sent 90,000 snaps and that I've received 71. So clearly 20,000 snaps I've just sent off and haven't got a response back. So clearly those are the ones I've sent, maybe 10 to 15, I would say. 10 to 15,000 snaps for the sole purpose of raising my snap score. And I think about it now, and I'm like, oh my god, I am so cringe for trying my best to increase my snap scores. And there were ads on like YouTube and Instagram where it was like, increase your snap score by using this app. No, I want to keep my snap score low. But I guess what, I can never ever raise it, or I can never ever lower it or maintain it, because I'm still doing streaks. So I'm still sending out snaps. But what I could do is just lower them so that other people can catch up to where I am, and therefore I'm on a steady pace. But that's just not happening. People do not use Snapchat enough to catch up to another person. Here's another quote from Quora. People find it more difficult to move on from painful experiences, such as breakups, with someone because they can always see them online. This one actually pisses me off, because I've stopped being friends with this one person, but every now and again, when I swipe up on my Snapchat, on the Snapchat memories, it is just their face right there. I don't want to delete the photo because it's a part of like the memories, but I don't want to be shown it. If I wish that feature, I think it's just the flashback feature where it just shows you memories from a year ago or 2 years ago, and catch-ups where it's like, oh, this is what you've done last month, and stuff like that. That annoys me so much, because I think that I'm done speaking with this person, or I'm not going to see him ever again, and then I swipe up and it's just their big face right there. To the people that haven't installed Snapchat or don't use it as often, I'm thinking of one of my mates, Sunny. I don't think he has an account, or he just hasn't got one. I envy him. I wish I was him, because the whole sending Snapchats to each other, or streaks, that's like the main thing about Snapchat, and that's the only thing that is keeping Snapchat awake right now. Sending streaks. I wish I didn't get into that, because now I'm in it. Now I'm like, I need the streaks, I need the bigger numbers. If it wasn't for streaks, I don't think I'd be on the app every single day. I'd probably just use Instagram or literally anything else, and I'd only come onto it to send my friends photos and videos or show them how to do something when I need to, and then I would just get off and never use it again. And using it for messages or like texting people on Snapchat, I think is also a very bad thing, because now whenever I get a message from someone, I half swipe to think of a response, and then I go into the message and text them back. I don't do the thing where I half swipe them, leave them undelivered for like 4 hours, and then come back to them, because I'm not a dick. But I'll half swipe it, see what they said, think of a response, and then just text them immediately, which is just not a normal way of thinking. So I've gotten into the habit of not half swiping and just clicking on the message, reading it, and just sending off a message. I think the biggest pressure of Snapchat is the fact that you can see when someone is there. It's completely different to read receipt, because on messages, when I send someone a message and it says read immediately, I know that they're there, I know that they're on the message and they're waiting for my response. but it's less pressure because there's not a little Bitmoji waiting for me to send my answer. So when it comes to Snapchat, when I send someone a message, I immediately swipe off just so I don't have that feeling of them coming onto the chat and I'm still there typing away, because that is just one of the worst things that I experience when I'm texting someone and they come onto my chat and I'm still texting them and I'm still sending messages. I hate that so much. It's just a personal pet peeve. I think this is going to be the last note that I mention. If your Snapchat screen time per day is more than maybe 2 hours, you're crazy and you need to just stop. Spending 2 to 3 to 4 hours on Snapchat alone is insane, and it doesn't make sense how you're spending this much time on this app. Unless if you're texting someone all day, your screen time shouldn't be that long. And why are you texting on Snapchat? Grow up. Text on messages. Get their phone number. What do you mean you're still using their Snapchat? Now, there are some cases where I just don't have someone's phone number, and I have no idea how to ask for their phone number without asking or without looking weird. So I just default to using Snapchat or Instagram. Just not their phone number. I'm trying to think of the times where I've given out my phone number to my friends and I can't remember. I have no idea how Fritz has my phone number, because I don't remember us being friends at the time, or like what kind of incident happened for me to give him my phone number. I can think of the most recent times where I've just said to someone, hey, if you want to contact me or if you want to message me, here's my phone number. Because I'm more likely to see messages through the Messages app rather than Snapchat, purely because I hate the way that my phone shows the notification. All it is their name and send a chat. That pisses me off so much. I want to see the message on my lock screen so I can just look at it quickly, you know? If it's a long message, I don't want to reply to that immediately. I want to give it 20 minutes, and then I'll see the message and I'll be like, oh, that's way too long of a message. I'll just say, okay, bye. But if it's on the home screen or on the lock screen and I know it's a big message, I know to give it 10-20 minutes, which isn't a good way of thinking. I know you should always just message the person immediately, but if it's a really long message, I'm just not up. I'm just gonna message them when I have the time for that long message. I don't want to accidentally click on the notification, open up the app and realize, oh shoot, this is a really long message. I have to give them a really in-depth answer, but I can't right now because I'm at school. And you could say, oh, sorry, I'm busy right now. And then you'll forget. You're gonna forget because people are forgetful. I'm forgetful. You're forgetful. I know that. Same thing with Instagram. When someone messages you on Instagram, it will tell you the message or like a part of the message. And if they message you on Messages, it's just going to show you right there. And then Snapchat, I hate the way every single time in my ear, because when I have my headphones in, it announces the notification. It will just say, person's name, sent a chat. Or it'll say, is typing, and then sent a chat. Oh, that's the worst thing. It's the is typing. I hate the is typing announce notification in my ear 24/7. And sometimes when they just start typing but they don't send a message, that is typing message will just stay there on the lock screen. So I think that I have a notification from them when I don't. Last final thing I want to say, and this isn't about Snapchat, this is just about Apple and the way that they handle notifications. I got a notification from someone on the Messages app and I'm like, okay, that's cool. They just said like one word. And then like 5 minutes later, my phone buzzes and makes the notification sound, so I instinctively look over and there's nothing. Guess what? It was the message that they had already sent me. My phone had reminded me twice that someone had sent me a message, or there was some sort of ghost notification. What do you mean? I don't know if anyone else gets these ghost notifications, or their phone buzzing for no reason, or sending a little chime for no reason. That annoys me so much, which is why I have a focus mode where all it is it receives notifications from some apps, but it's mostly silent, so I don't have to keep looking at my phone whenever I hear a little ping, because that's a bad habit that I'm trying to break. It is a bit annoying sometimes, because when my friends try and call me, it immediately declines them, so it's basically like having to disturb on. but it's not. I think I might change that to allow some people, but then it's gonna allow their messages through, and I don't want that. Let me just block the messages app. That app is so broken. Stop sending me reminder notifications. I know that he sent me a message. Let me just leave me alone. I'm doing my own thing. I don't need to reply to, okay, bro. I don't need to do that. I can just leave it as is. The conversation is over. Leave me alone.